You're up before the sun. The men and women we count on every day. And when you need us most, your Carolina Ford dealers are here for you. Discover what it means to be true blue. For great offers on a new Ford truck or SUV, see your Carolina Ford dealer today.
Build a stronger future with Veeam. Protect and restore any workload, anywhere, anytime, instantly. And get comprehensive recovery and tailored solutions that scale with you. Visit VEEAM.com to learn more. Veeam. Radical resilience starts here.
Hey everyone, welcome to Lovely J's podcast. I am Coco Belton, and come on in and sit down, y'all. Let's talk a little bit. So, I was just strolling through like I always do every day on Facebook, social media, and I come across some TikTok videos that were talking about Trump, and I was like, wait a minute now, I've been waiting for a while to see what the verdict of this thing is going to be. So, guess what? They done got Trump, y'all. They done got him for millions or more dollars, and they banned him too. Let's read this. According to CBS News, the article says Trump $350 million fraud. Verdict includes New York business ban for 3 years. Here's what to know. A judge's ruling on Friday in Donald Trump's civil fraud trial deals a severe blow to the former president, who is now barred from running the New York-based company for decades has served as the hub of his global business empire. In a 92-page decision, New York Supreme Court Justice Arthur Engoron barred Trump from serving as officer or director of any corporation or other legal entity in the state for 3 years, while his sons, Eric Trump and Donald Trump Jr., were banned for 2 years, according to the ruling. Trump and the Trump Organization were also ordered to pay penalties of $354 million in what is one of the stiffest corporate sanctions in New York history. Ooh. The total jumps to $453.5 million when prejudgment interest is factored in. Engoron ruled last fall that Trump and his company, the Trump Organization, repeatedly violated state fraud law by systematically misrepresenting the value of some of his properties and his overall net worth. That enabled his business to obtain loan rates and other financial terms that they otherwise wouldn't have received. New York Attorney General Letitia James had claimed in filing suit against Trump. Most specifically, James' allegations included falsifying business records, issuing false financial statements, and insurance fraud. James' office claimed that Trump's misrepresentations led to the company collecting $370 million in ill-gotten gains. Ow! Friday's ruling also appoints Judge Barbara Jones to continue in her role as an independent monitor of Trump's business for at least 3 years. It orders the addition of an independent director of compliance at the Trump Organization, with Engoron ruling that this person will be responsible for ensuring good financial and accounting practices. Ouch! Again. The more evidence there is of defendants' ongoing propensity to engage in fraud, the more need there is for the court to impose stricter injunctive relief. Engoron wrote in his verdict, "This is not defendant's first rodeo." How? Okay, y'all, so I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna keep reading, though. I'm gonna keep reading since this is article. Y'all, can we just pause for just a second? I really, gotta just clear my sinuses for just a second. And I am back. Okay, so let's continue to read. It's possible Trump could appoint a trusted advisor to run his business during the 3-year ban, noted John Coffey, a professor at Columbia Law School and an expert on corporate governance and white-collar crime. I doubt that he can appoint someone else without the court's approval, but one candidate that he will think of is Ivanka, his daughter, who is not a defendant, Coffey told CBS Money Watch. When Martha Stewart was barred from serving as a director of her own business, which, like Trump, had her name on it, she appointed her daughter as CEO for 3 years. Ivanka Trump, once an executive at the Trump Organization, was originally named as a defendant in the fraud suit, but an appellate court, later dismissed allegations against her due to the state's statute of limitations. Trump un-American judgment against me. Ooh, I think, you know what? I want to comment before I finish even reading this. I have been saying this word a lot, un-American. And I'm beginning to say that it's a lot of un-American things going on in America. The America we once knew has changed, and it did it secretly over time. But let's keep reading. Let's keep going. Okay. In a statement, Trump, who is expected to appeal, decried the verdict, calling it un-American and a complete and total sham. There were no victims, no damages, no complaints, Trump said in his statement. Only satisfied banks and insurance companies, which made a ton of money. Great financial statements that didn't even include the most valuable asset, the Trump brand. The decision comes from just weeks after a federal jury ruled that Trump must pay $83.3 million in damages for defamatory statements he made denying that he sexually assaulted the writer E. Jean Carroll. Trump is also facing numerous additional legal cases. These bills are really racking up for Trump, says CBS News legal analyst. I was going to say that same thing. Katrina Kaufman. Shortly before the verdict was announced, James asked for a lifetime ban on Trump in New York's real estate industry, which is huge for him. This is where he started as a businessman. Trump could see the damages reduced on appeal, Columbia's Coffey said, but to appeal, Trump would have to post a bond covering the $354 million in penalties, he added. That will be costly, Coffey said. Some banks will post the bond for him for a hefty fee, but they will want security that they can liquidate easily and that may require some sale of his assets. Trump and his legal team had long expected a defeat, with the former president decrying the case as rigged and a sham, and his lawyers laying the groundwork for an appeal before the judge was even issued. In 2023, Engelrod found that Trump and his company overstated the valuations of many properties by hundreds of millions. The judge cited the Palm Beach, Florida real estate assessor's valuation of his Mar-a-Lago club at as low as $18 million, an amount on which Trump paid local property taxes. At the time, Trump valued the property at as much as $714 million on his annual statements of financial conditions. Separately, Trump also faces charges in 4 criminal proceedings. The first trial, which centers on a payment to adult film star Stormy Daniels in 2016, is scheduled to begin in Manhattan on March 25th. He has pleaded not guilty in all 4 charges. Oh my God, Trump is, y'all. Trump has then got himself in some trouble. And I, for once, I'm just looking at, when I first saw that he had to pay that $83 million, I knew then that they was coming at him financially. Now, what we're seeing here happen is Trump has become a target of the American people. That's what it is. Because the reason why I say he's become a target is because whatever happened or whatever he said, he pissed off a lot of people. And now they want to make sure that he's not able to run for president. They want to take away everything that he's lied for to get to where he's at, or everything that he made to get to where he was at. But however, they want to see him with nothing. And that's exactly the goal of making him a target, is to make sure that him and his family has nothing. Now, it wouldn't surprise me to see them, the children, starting to work at regular, at regular companies, because now that these companies are they're banned away from for the next 3 years. Now, I do believe that Trump will try to get his daughter to take over his company until those 3 years is up. His daughter or either his wife. Somebody he's going to get that he knows he can have his way with. He will try to get them to run those companies for him, so he doesn't have to pull in an outsider, and so that he can still have control over those companies. Now, the thing is, can his pocket stand all this financial loss that's here? Because even with the appeal, I'm sorry, y'all, I had to sneeze. But even with the appeal, he's got to put up $354 million. I mean, that's a lot of money. I mean, he's got a lot of money, but when you got to pay out a lot of money from the lot of money you got, it starts going down. Texas Hold'em. But yes, I do think in this case, everything so far that they have brought up against Trump, he's been found guilty on. And at this point, he got the appeals that are fixing to be coming through. I would say that man has his hands full. He don't need to be. Now, one thing I can say about Trump when he was president is that he didn't play about this illegal immigrant stuff. He did not play about that. When he was president, he was like, yes, let's put this wall up. How dare Biden, and I mean, just jumping topic for a while. And I'm a black American, first off. But we've been over here trying to get help for the longest. And America just really threw it back in our faces because Biden went, and listen, I think the black Americans need to listen at this, because all of us that voted for Biden had no idea that he was going to bring immigrants in to take away from our communities. Our black communities had to shut down to accommodate the immigrants that were coming in. And that was all over in the areas where they was at, like New York, just different places. The money that could have been helping build us up over here, helping us fix our houses, helping make sure that we are, getting the right medical care. Billions of dollars left. Why didn't billions of dollars go into keeping us safe so that you can fire some of these crooked cops and these crooked doctors? I mean, I'm serious. Now, why is our money going over there? And I say our money because, I pay taxes too. And, every time you go to a store, anywhere you go, they got a way to get money from us all that are already here. But when we see what's happening, that's one thing I can say about Trump. Trump did not go for that. Trump was like, nope, let's build a wall. And at first I was like, oh my God, he's being so mean. But then I had to put on my big girl panties. If somebody don't do it, just what's happening right now is going to happen. It's going to happen if somebody doesn't do it. And Trump was the one to do that back then. And Biden just had to prove a point. They so mad and jealous and just hell bent at getting back at one another in the government that they're hurting the American people because they're playing childish games. These immigrants coming in, they're not coming in playing fair. You got to understand that the same things that we have over here, as far as behavior episodes and actions, is the same thing that's all around the world. You have good people, you have bad people. And some of these bad people are now taking over. So I really hate that this had to come down to this on Trump. I did vote for him back in, when he first ran. I did vote for him back when Hillary was up, because I was like, I'm not voting for Hillary. I don't know what it was about Hillary, but I sure won't trying to find out. So I did not vote for Hillary. I voted Republican. And what I'm seeing right now with the Democrats is that the Democrats are the worst, in my opinion now. This is just my opinion. These are the worst Democrats that we have seen in a long time in Congress. Yep, got quiet on that. Because it's the truth. The Democrats that are in Congress now, senators and all that, the Democrats are so busy trying to prove that they can have power. It's about power to them. It's not about the American people anymore. We got rich people that only rich by numbers, but when they're at home, they worried about how they gonna still make ends meet. And these are rich people. We got poor people that can't come up because every time they try to come up, they're knocked back down. And this is the thing. It's no longer like the rich man trying to knock somebody down. Now some of the rich men are still trying to knock people down. Still trying to keep people down so they have somebody to work for them. But now it's the government itself that's turning the Constitution into something that's un-American. So that's why when I was reading the article and I saw what Trump called what they were doing un-American, un-American means anything that goes against the Constitution, the amendments, the Bill of Rights. When you start taking away from that and putting things in your own perspective just because this is how you feel it ought to be, you're taking away from American values. And like it or not, now I ain't gonna say, but I do want to say this. I do believe that the Constitution needs to be upgraded where it does fit more black people, where it fits for all of us and not just, because it's supposed to be for all of us anyway, but there's some laws that and rights that we just don't have as black people. We just don't have it. And these Democrats are not helping right now. They are not helping. I ain't telling nobody how to vote or whatever, because we talking about Trump's trial here and how he just got charged with this, how he just got found guilty and banned and got this fee of $354 million fraud verdict. That's a lot. And of course, it does appear that he did commit the frauds. And I know I strayed away from that topic a little bit because it ties in there. Because sometimes it's hard to spot those that are really doing the cheating when they're all mixed together. Sometimes it's hard to tell who's doing what. At once upon a time, people thought Republicans were bad. Then they thought Democrats were bad. But then Trump comes along and exposes everybody. He had no mercy on nobody. He had no chill on nobody. Whether you were Republican or Democrat. Even if you worked with him, if he had something to say, he just blurted out and say it. We need that type of honesty. Now, I'm not saying it's got to come from him, but we need that type of honesty right there. Now, that fraud case, no, we don't need that part. But if I was to want a president now, I would want that type of president that was honest about what was going on. Because that's what they're here for, to serve the American people. And when they lie to us, when they take from us and they steal from us, they're doing us a disservice. And right now, I'm just not feeling Joe Biden, and that's my opinion on that. And I have my reasons for that, because if you know anything about organized crime, then you know right now it looks like the Democrats are in favor of organized crime. And that's why I say what I say, is because when we look at our people and how far they've come, and I'm talking about all of America now, all of America right now is like, ever since the pandemic came, nobody recovered mentally from that. Most didn't recover financially from it. So we need leaders who's going to lead us in a direction that we can start seeing the economy grow and not die. And I must say that when Trump came through, he came through with life. He just held... I don't want to make it seem like Trump is all that, because what he did was wrong. Okay, what he did was wrong, but what I'm trying to say is that part of him was wrong, what he did about the fraud and, making people think he had this kind of money and that kind of money and lied on the applications. That was wrong. But I guess I just kind of had a sad moment for him there, because $354 million, that's a lot of money. Like, what is he worth right now? Let's look and see. Let me look. Let's see. I'm looking it up. Donald Trump. Let's just put in here net worth. We're just gonna get an estimate. Oh, well, as of 2024, he's worth $2.6 billion, according to Forbes. Forbes has estimated his wealth for decades and estimates it at $2.6 billion as of 2024, with Trump making much higher claims. Trump received gifts, loans, and inheritance from his father. His primary business has been real estate ventures, including hotels, casinos, and golf carts. Man, y'all, it's a lot of money in that. Gosh. Just imagine those who get the contracts that, that cut grass, that service, like restaurants. So, hey, there you go, folks. If you want something good to invest in golf, not golf in itself, but invest in the work that goes into making the golf tournaments what they are. The people who cut grass, those restaurants, those hotels. Gosh, I think I'm starting to see a new way of life just sitting here thinking about that. But Trump, you knew better. I'm gonna start to wire this thing now. Okay, let me get off the money part. But Trump, you knew better. What was you thinking? They caught up with him, y'all. So don't y'all be out here trying to do what he did. Don't put numbers where they don't belong. Don't put zeros where they don't belong. Now the thing is, we just got to wait and see. We got to wait to see now if his appeal and what goes on with that. I can't imagine though how he's feeling, getting told he couldn't, being barred from running his New York businesses. I mean, that's gotta. I can't even imagine. I mean, he's got to be the most stressful man right now. Just stressed out because of these court. He spent his last, since 2020, he's been in and out of court. And it's like, they keep coming up with stuff on him. So I'm going to say this and take it for what it's worth. Nobody is above the law. Eventually, you will get yours. Eventually, you will get caught. Even if they got to wait years to get you, there's going to come a time when you're going to have to stand before the judge and they're going to be reading out your charges. Yep. They're going to read out your charges and why you got those charges. And I think this is just a case where he ran long as he could run. Somebody didn't like him. He became a target of some society, and they got him. They knew exactly where to go and how to do it. They didn't just get him. They got his son too. And they may be going after his daughter next, especially if she takes over these businesses he has. But Trump, oh my God. And y'all, by the way, can I say this? I'm not a Trump fan, but I like the way he does some things. Some things I gotta admit, we needed the wake-up call. We needed the loudness. We needed the rudeness. Because we just then got side in our ways thinking that America was so perfect. And Trump come to show us that America is not perfect, nor is America smart, because for all these years, he got away with putting numbers in the system. He got away with it. And the only reason he got caught, it had to be an insider. You don't get caught by strangers. It's the insider who knows your business. So the insider released what they knew to the stranger. And now, judge orders Trump to pay $355 million and cease running businesses in the state for 3 years as punishment for fraudulently inflating his net worth. He got some ego. Oh my goodness. And if y'all want to read those articles, you can just Google it. I'm telling you, just Google. Yahoo News has something about it too. It says additional penalties against Trump's 2 adult sons and associate brought the total in the civil case to $364 million. In Georgia, a divorce lawyer for leading prosecutor Nathan Wade is among several witnesses to testify at a hearing seeking to disqualify Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Willis. Yeah, she's in court too, y'all. From the election interference case brought against Trump and 18 others. It's a lot going on, y'all. Y'all better start paying attention to what's going on in the government. And most of all, we got to pay attention more to those bills that they sneak in. I just started learning a lot about these bills that they sneak in and like the public doesn't know, or either they'll create something big to go on and then you'll forget that Congress is still working. You'll forget that senator is still working. And next thing you know, you'll see the bill come out 2025 that says, da-da-da-da, you can't this, you can't that. You got to have permission for this. You got to get a permit for that. So we got to keep our eyes open and our ears open and pay attention to what's going on. As of now, I think, in my opinion, was justice served. Now, y'all going to call me whatever you want to call me. I'm going to say yes, justice was served. In this case, the law worked the way it was supposed to work. The man was fraudulently saying he had all these numbers and he didn't. And he didn't have no evidence to back himself up, saying that he was right. So he was found guilty. He had no defense. The defense didn't come through on his side. So yeah, in this case, the court got it right. Nobody is above the law. They got it right, y'all. I mean, I know some of you Trump fans, don't beat me up. But listen, they got it right. They got it right. The defense could not prove otherwise. And this is what happens. You go to court, you got your defendant, you got your plaintiff. The plaintiff was the district attorney. The defendant was Donald J. Trump. It was his burden of proof. He the plaintiff had to have, the district attorney had to have the burden of proof of what happened. But then the defense had to come back and prove that it didn't happen. And this is what it boils down to. His defense did not prove that it didn't happen. So he was found guilty. Now he's out millions of dollars. Until we hear otherwise, we're just going to allegedly assume that he's out $355 million, including the $83 million. Because I don't know if he got a appeal on that case yet or not either. But either way, these millions. He's out because he lied about millions. God, what a way to fall from grace. What a way. All right, y'all. So you've been listening to Lovely J Podcast. I hope that y'all like some of the things I be saying. If you don't like what I say, well, that's fine too, because this is my opinion, and you can always go to another channel. Skadoo. Peace, love, and happiness.